Good morning, everyone. Let me ask you something that sounds simple, but it's not. Do you want to change your life in the next 30 days, not next year, not after your degree, not when you have more money or more time? Just 30 days, that's it. People think life changes when you get a promotion, when you meet the right person, or when luck knocks on your door. That's not how it works. Life doesn't change all at once. Life changes slowly, painfully, quietly when you start doing the small things that nobody sees. I want to share something that changed my life and helped me build something from nothing. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's two golden rules, and if you truly follow them for 30 days, I promise not hope. Promise you will not be the same person after 1 month. The first rule is simple, but not easy. Show up every single day. I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you're afraid. I don't even care if you feel like a failure. Just show up. When I started my first venture, I had no money, no experience, no support. People laughed at my ideas. They said, "This will never work. You don't understand business. You don't even speak good English." But I told myself they might be right, but I'll still show up tomorrow. That's it. That's all I had. Every morning, I woke up and gave whatever I had that day, even if it was just 10% of my energy. Even if I failed again, I showed up. Do that long enough and you become unstoppable. Most people lose because they quit too early. They wait for motivation to strike like lightning. But let me tell you something. Motivation is a liar. It will leave you when you need it most. What you need is discipline. Wake up, even when you don't feel like it. Work on your goal, even when nobody claps for you. Keep going, even when you're slow. That's how winners are built, not in the spotlight, but in silence. You don't need to make huge progress every day. Just small steps. 1 brick a day builds the wall. You don't have to run a marathon. Just take the first step. If you're 1% better today than yesterday, that's already success. Because 1% every day for 30 days, that's not small anymore, that's transformation. Now, the second golden rule is this. Do one thing that scares you every day. Why? Because comfort is the enemy of growth. You can't become great while staying safe. If you want a new life, you must leave the old one behind, and that takes courage. I remember the first time I had to speak in front of a crowd. My hands were shaking. My voice was weak. I thought I would embarrass myself. And I did, but I also survived, and the next time I was just a little better. Then a little better after that. That's how it works. You grow by facing your fears, not avoiding them. Fear is not your enemy. It's your guide. If something scares you, pay attention. That's where the breakthrough lies. Start the conversation you've been avoiding. Apply for that job you think you're not good enough for. Launch that idea that you've been sitting on. Do it scared, do it unready, but do it. You might fail. That's okay. In fact, failure is required. Every successful person you admire has failed not once, but many times. The difference is, they didn't stay down. They learned, they adjusted, and they tried again. Don't fear failure. Fear regret. Fear waking up 10 years from now and realizing you never even tried. And if you say, "But I don't have support, nobody believes in me," let me tell you something important. You don't need 1 million followers. You don't need approval from everyone. You just need one person who believes in you. And sometimes that person has to be you. Believe in your vision when no one else does. Believe in your value even if you're broke today. Believe that if you stay consistent, if you stay brave, things will change, because they will. Now imagine this. You wake up tomorrow and you make a promise. For the next 30 days, you will show up no matter what. For the next 30 days, you will do one thing every day that scares you. You might not become rich. You might not become famous, but you will become powerful. You will become focused. You will become unstoppable. And that kind of person, that person can change their life not in 5 years, but starting now. The truth is, most people don't fail because they're not talented. They don't fail because they're unlucky. They fail because they stop showing up. Showing up sounds simple, but it's one of the hardest things you'll ever do, especially when nothing seems to be working. when no one is watching, when you feel invisible, or when life knocks you flat on your face. That's when showing up becomes the ultimate test. Anyone can show up when it's easy. The real strength is built when it's hard. Every single person who has ever achieved something big didn't wake up successful. They didn't have magic. They didn't always feel inspired. They just kept showing up day after day, week after week, month after month. They kept showing up when nobody believed in them, when results didn't come, when doors didn't open, when the world said you can't. They still showed up and whispered back, "Watch me." I remember a time when I felt like nothing I did was working. I would prepare, work hard, try new things, and still fail. People would say, "Maybe you're not cut out for this." And honestly, some part of me believed it, but I told myself one thing: just show up. Don't worry about being perfect. Don't worry about being brilliant. Don't even worry about success. Just be the one who refuses to quit. Be the one who shows up again tomorrow. It's funny. Success doesn't show up in one grand moment. It's hidden in 1,000 ordinary days when you kept going anyway. It's hidden in the early mornings when you wanted to sleep, but you got up and tried again. It's hidden in the late nights when nobody clapped for you, but you still gave your best. It's hidden in the days when your heart was tired, your mind was full of doubt, but your feet still moved forward. And let me tell you something important. You don't have to be extraordinary to change your life. You just have to be consistent. You just have to outlast the noise. You just have to outlast the doubt. People will say, "You got lucky." No, it's not luck. It's discipline. It's showing up when it would have been easier to disappear. It's putting in the work when there was no applause, no spotlight, and no promise of a reward. You don't build a great life in one day. You build it like a wall, one brick at a time. Lay a brick today, lay another tomorrow. It may feel small, it may feel slow, but after 30 days, you look back and realize you're not in the same place anymore. You've moved, you've grown, you've become someone new. Most people want results instantly. They want a dramatic transformation in a week. But real change doesn't work like that. Real change is quiet. Real change is boring. Real change is uncomfortable. And the people who win are not the people who are always motivated. They are the people who have made a decision. No matter what happens, I will show up. That decision changes everything. Because when you show up consistently, you build trust with yourself. You stop breaking promises to your own future. You stop waiting for the right time. You create the right time. You stop chasing inspiration. You become your own source of power. So if you're tired, show up tired. If you're afraid, show up afraid. If you're confused, show up with questions. If you're alone, show up anyway. You don't have to do everything in one day. You just have to be the kind of person who doesn't quit. No matter your age, your past, your pain, or your starting point, if you can just keep showing up, your life will shift slowly, quietly, powerfully. And by the end of 30 days, you won't just have better results, you'll have a new identity. Someone who follows through, someone who finishes, someone who does what others only talk about. And that is how lives are changed. If there's one thing that holds more people back than anything else, it's fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of looking stupid, fear of not being good enough, fear of starting and not finishing. And so, most people stay stuck not because they don't have dreams, but because they're afraid to chase them. But here's the truth. Everything you want, everything you're capable of becoming, lives on the other side of fear. The life you keep imagining, the confidence, the freedom, the respect, the opportunities, none of that comes without first stepping through discomfort. That's why if you truly want to grow, you have to do one thing every single day that scares you. Even if it's small, especially if it's small, fear is not the enemy. In fact, fear is a signal. It shows you where the edge of your comfort zone is, and that edge, that's where growth happens. If something scares you, that's a sign it matters, that it can shape you, that it can change you, but most people turn away. They say, "I'm not ready," or "maybe later." What they don't realize is that growth doesn't wait for you to feel ready. You grow by doing the thing before you're ready. When you face a fear, even a small one, something changes inside you. You prove to yourself that you can. You break the mental cage that told you you couldn't. Every time you do this, your courage grows. Your confidence compounds. It doesn't take a massive act of bravery. It can be as simple as starting that conversation you've been avoiding, asking a question in the meeting, recording a video of yourself, sharing your idea, applying for the thing that feels slightly out of reach, making the call, saying yes, saying no, standing up for yourself, saying, "This is what I want." These moments might seem small from the outside, but inside they are everything. Because once you face a fear, that fear loses its power and you gain yours. I remember moments when I was terrified to take a step, speaking in public, sharing my thoughts with a room full of smarter people, trying something I had no experience in, and I failed many times, but I kept doing the scary thing, not because I was brave, but because I was tired of being stuck. And each time something changed, I became a little less afraid, a little more sure of myself. And eventually, what used to terrify me became normal. People often say, "I wish I had more confidence." But they're waiting for confidence to show up like a gift. Confidence doesn't come first. Action comes first. Confidence comes after. You earn it, you build it, you don't wait for it. You face the fear and then the confidence follows. And yes, you will fail, you will mess up. You will look foolish at times. But that's not the end, it's the beginning. Failure is not a full stop. It's just feedback. It's a redirection, not a rejection. The people who go far are the ones who learn to fail with grace, who learn to fall forward, who understand that if they keep moving, even with the fear, something beautiful will eventually unfold. The funny thing is, after 30 days of doing something that scares you every day, your definition of fear changes. What used to intimidate you starts to excite you. What once felt impossible starts to feel within reach. And more importantly, you start to trust yourself. That trust, that's priceless, that's power. If you want to become someone new, you can't keep doing what feels safe. Comfort is a slow death. It keeps you the same while making you think you're okay. But the truth is, if you stay too long in comfort, you start shrinking. Your dreams shrink, your self-belief shrinks, your potential goes to sleep. But if every day, even in the smallest way, you stretch that comfort zone, you grow. It's not about doing something extreme. It's about doing something real, something honest, something that pushes you just a little beyond what feels easy. Every time you do that, your world gets bigger, your voice gets louder, your presence gets stronger. Your mindset becomes sharper, and 30 days from now, you won't just be more fearless, you'll be more free. Free from the lies that told you you couldn't, free from the limits you placed on yourself, free from the habit of hiding. You'll realize that fear was never the problem avoidance was, and once you stop avoiding, everything starts opening up. So go, say the thing, start the thing, try the thing, face the thing, be scared but do it anyway. Because that's where your power lies, and if you do that every day for 30 days, you won't just change your life, you'll change who you believe yourself to be. People today are obsessed with numbers. How many likes, how many followers, how many views, how many people are watching, clapping, or validating what you're doing. And if you're not careful, you start to believe that your value depends on those numbers, that your dream is only real when the world notices, that your ideas only matter when they're trending, that you only have potential when other people agree. But that's not true. It's never been true. The truth is, you don't need 1,000,000 people behind you. You don't need a crowd. You don't need everyone to understand you. Sometimes all it takes is one person who believes in you, just one. Maybe that person is a friend. Maybe it's a teacher, a parent, a mentor, or a stranger who says, "I see something in you." Or maybe, and this is the most powerful version, maybe that person is you. The world won't always believe in you at first. In fact, when you start chasing something big, most people won't understand it. They'll laugh, they'll doubt, they'll warn you. They'll say things like, "Be realistic," or "That's too risky," or "Who do you think you are?" And if you're waiting for the world to cheer you on before you move, you'll wait forever. You have to be your own believer before anyone else is. You have to be the one who keeps going even when there's silence, even when there's rejection, even when it looks like no one cares. You have to believe that your work matters, even if no one claps for it yet. You have to believe that your voice has value, even if it's shaking. You have to believe that your future is worth fighting for, even if your present feels uncertain. Think about it. Every person you admire, the ones who built companies, changed communities, broke records, created art, they all started at zero. No followers, no applause, no spotlight, just belief. That belief didn't come from proof. It came from purpose. They believed before they had results. That's the key. You don't need a stadium. You don't need a massive audience. You need one reason to keep going. You need one voice that says, "You've got this." And sometimes that voice is quiet. Sometimes it's buried under fear and doubt, but it's there. And if you can find it even for a second, you're already on your way. The most powerful breakthroughs in life don't come when a million people finally support you. They come when you decide to support yourself, when you stop waiting for permission and start moving with intention. When you stop saying, "I hope they notice me," and start saying, "I notice me, I'm not giving up on me." Because once you believe in yourself, you become dangerous in the best way. You stop chasing validation. You stop shrinking to fit in. You stop needing to be accepted to feel worthy. You start moving differently. You start walking with a quiet confidence, the kind that can't be faked and can't be shaken. And here's the beautiful twist. Once you believe in yourself, others begin to believe too. Not because you begged them to, but because belief is contagious. People are drawn to those who know where they're going. They trust people who trust themselves. So ironically, when you stop needing the crowd often follows. But even if they don't, even if it takes longer, even if no one shows up for a while, you are still enough. Your belief is still valid. Your dream is still alive, because the moment one person, even if it's just you, decides, "I'm not giving up," something shifts, the energy changes, the story changes, the path begins to open. So no, you don't need a million followers. You don't need to go viral. You don't need universal approval. You just need that one spark of belief, one heartbeat of courage, one voice in the dark that says, "Keep going." And when you find that voice, protect it, listen to it, and follow it wherever it leads, because that's how real change begins. So I leave you with this. Show up every day. Do one thing that scares you. Do that for 30 days and watch how life changes. Not someday, now. Thank you.